How's it going, and welcome to Behind the Curtain. I'm here with Rafiq Shahid, the founder of September Stage. How are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful, man. How's it going?
It's going well. I'm happy to have you here.
It's good to be here. I'm glad to have the opportunity to sit down and answer some of the questions that fans, players, and just the community has for me as far as September Stage. We have something huge planned this year, and we're just looking forward to it.
Awesome, and we do have some really good questions for you as well too. Some things people want to know, a little more about you, a little more about the tournament. So let's go and jump right into that.
Definitely.
Starting here from the beginning, why is this so important to you having September Stage each year? This is the third year for us. Well, what made you want to get into this, and why is this such a big deal for you?
Well, tell you the truth, really what made me want to get into this, as far as what I'm doing is, I've already started doing refereeing. So I was doing refereeing work. And because of that, I looked at how can I give back to my community through that. How can I use those connections and things like that. The best thing I can do is basketball tournaments. We're able to raise funds for the school. That's number one. It's bigger than a tournament. It's about raising money for our youth so that they can be educated. But what made me want to continue this is consistency. All of our mothers and fathers, who sacrificed a lot for us to even be here, and they have gone on. They've sacrificed so much, but the one thing that they have is consistency. They never got off of their mission. So with our help, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and, the mission of Al-Murshid, I'm determined to continue that and keep it going, keep it strong. So we're at 3 years in already, inshallah, 3 years in, and the one thing I keep thinking is how can I get better and better and better? And there's always room for improvement, but I'm determined to be as consistent as possible, and that's what drives me.
And just touching on that, so getting better and better, what can we look forward to this year that's going to kind of improve over last year?
So really what we can look forward to is it's episode 3. So it's only right to have 3 days. So you can look forward to a new day that we've included in September Stage. It's called Friday Night Hype. Now, Friday Night Hype is not just an ordinary day. Yes, it ties into September Stage, but we focus more on the youth, ages 7 to 12. And it's a youth competition for the schools. So all of the schools will be coming together. They'll be doing a youth competition, competing against one another for cash prizes that will go towards their school, whether it be renovations, startup, book costs, if you want to go to outings, whatever it may be that's educational, science labs, whatever it is that they need for their schools, we're looking to try to help out. Now, this competition is not like any other competition that we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
Now we've had basketball competitions, we've even had flag football competitions or things of that nature. So we've had sporting competitions before, and we even had academic competitions. But this one is something new and different that was brought to me. The idea was brought to me by my father-in-law, Jamil Wadud Abu Bashir. It was brought to me, and that's track and field. So it's what these kids love to do. They run all day. They run in the gym. So why not put them on the track and see who's the fastest? We have so many different categories in track and field that we're going to bring to the table for these kids to compete from ages 7 to 12. So it'll be 7 and 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And for them to compete against one another for those cash prizes. And we look for that support from parents and schools and all of them to come out and support our youth in this event for the first time that they've never had a chance of doing, and getting to compete and have fun with it.
That's really good. So it seems to be focused a lot on the youth, which is a good thing because obviously there are a lot of children that come to these tournaments. They're there with their parents or their fathers that are playing. So that's good. And I did also want to congratulate you on having Road to September Stage, which was a very good tournament for the young boys. Got to see a lot of the younger talent that we don't usually get to see at September Stage. Having that showcase their talent, that's really good. What made you want to run a tournament for them, prior to September Stage, just so I guess people can kind of see their skill level and what we can look forward to coming up next?
Well, what I thought with September Stage is that, as wonderful as it is, I think we kind of it gets away from us with what the focus is about, and that's the youth. We understand that it's for rings and everyone's out there to compete, and players pay money. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the players are well taken care of. We're not just saying that this isn't about you guys, just come show up because we're raising funds. So we do focus on them, but we want to make sure that the message is real consistent about it being for the youth. So we wanted to take it back. It's kind of like those prequels. How did September Stage start? And September Stage had to start from somewhere. Youth had to become adults. So we wanted to take it back to how can you get to September Stage? And that would be the road to the stage. So we said, let's focus on the younger kids. We've already established Falcon Academy leagues down here in South Carolina. 2 years already in South Carolina, where we had our kids just locally competing each week in basketball, in a basketball league. We had a team from Charlotte come. Shout out to Team Charlotte. Yeah. We had a team come from Charlotte that competed. They played very, very well, played hard at the end. But shout out and congratulations to Team Run It Back, Janae's coach. So shout out to them for Road to the Stage and Falcon Academy victories, being the champions. But we wanted to focus on that age group because that talent is so good. And we're seeing it more and more in September Stage with teams like Next Gen and even LTMN, you know, some of those younger guys that are in there. So we're seeing that so much. We're like, let's see what they have just playing against each other. Yeah. Let's see that. Let's see the talent level just playing against each other. Then we can kind of gauge and see who's ready for the stage. So we did that, and what it ended up doing is it really put the focus on the youth. People were able to see how our young men can act, and they, oh my God, they were extremely well behaved. I mean, I really have to give a shout out to them. They're leading the way for how we're going to behave at September Stage. Yes, really, I agree. That's the blueprint on how things need to be. I mean, you're seeing kids come together at the end talking about, let's form a team, and they just played each other. You know what I mean? At the end of the championship, Black Ops from Virginia, congratulations to them for going to the championship. They're clapping for running back, as congratulating them right at the end, shaking hands right at the end, and that's what it's all about. You know, even though we compete, we're still family at the end of the day, and we're happy for one another, whoever wins. I agree. We can definitely take that sportsmanship and use that towards, you know, the actual September Stage. It's always good, I think, for us as adults to look back on the youth, see how they act in these situations, as opposed to getting heated and whatnot, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But carry ourselves better, even though we're competing, of course. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we still know each other. We're still Muslim brothers. All that stuff doesn't matter. You know, we're still good to go. Now, of course, this year, you know, as you said, there are going to be changes, and one of the big changes that players do ask about is, you know, the player fee. It's $70 this year. Yeah. Why this year is it a little bit higher? So this year is a little bit higher because what we wanted to do is we felt like we're at a level at September Stage where we don't need, and this is not a bad thing, but we don't need to have community refs such as myself, Zayd, Imran. At the end of the day, we call it like we see it. Shout out to the podcast. We call it like we see it, but it leaves too much room for nepotism, and we wanted to remove that all the way. So one of the things that we always had in all of the previous September Stages is the first day we kind of would rep, and then the second day we had rest because we couldn't really, you know, we were trying to raise money and we don't want to spend too much. So this year, what we ended up doing was we said, what we're going to do is we'll raise the fee because the players continuously have that issue about the refs. Hey, you know, this guy is this one's brother and this is this person's uncle. So we wanted to raise the fee so that we could be able to afford those refs. And it's not just the refs only. I mean, we have things that we want to bring out more for the rewards for the award ceremony. Have a bigger trophy, get better rings, upgrade the rings. So that player fee goes back into the players. It's not just for the fundraiser. That additional fee goes back into the players and gives it back to them to give them a better product. That's good. I was actually going to ask you about you reffing, and obviously you're running the whole tournament. You're reffing the first day. Yeah. You know, you're controlling everything. So that's good. So you have better refs this time, and that's a big question for a lot of players because you're right. It does bring up that criticism. Oh, this guy knows this person, and maybe it's a little bit of favoritism here because you know they know this team. So if that eliminates all that, I'm sure people won't really have a problem paying. We wanted to eliminate that. You know? We wanted to eliminate that, get that out the way, and like you said, running the tournament as well as reffing. It was just so much because there's different areas that I have to run. I want to be more so dealing with the stats and helping out on that area so that the stats are accurate and the clock is ran right, so that you know there's no issue there. So those are the things that I want to focus more on, and I know with the rest that I work with, great gentlemen who deal with Division II, Division III basketball, and has taught me a lot, like my mentors, with refereeing, and got me to a level where I can consistently call a game and be comfortable in the game in close games. I've done championships all around, and we're talking about people that have skin in the game, 10 years, 15 years in, and even more than that, some of them 28 years. So I know that with them on the court, I'm good. I can focus solely based on what needs to be run, the logistics of the tournament. So, and that's going to give a better product to the players, to the fans, and to our community.
I'm sure everyone can agree that's a better thing.